classic mystery vintage paperbacks and some great Western vintage paperbacks. Handi-Books. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and we're going to look at Handi-Books series now, which is a great series of little digest kind sized paperbacks that were sold for 15 cents. And some great books in this series. Some of them were abridged, but some of them were paperback originals, and there's quite a few that are very collectible. It's a nice series of books. They're numbered from 1 to 139. I have most of them, but there's a few I'm missing. The first 7 were not numbered. They had no numbers. And with number 8, they were numbered. They're a nice series. The early books have their stapled spine, and then later on they have perfect binding spine. They have kind of a modernistic, for that time, style of artwork for the early books, with the accent really being on the titles of the books, and then usually images in the background, kind of not pulp type covers. And then later on they do get into like more pulpy covers, and with good girl art, some of them. Some of the things I like about the books is the early ones have in the chapter headings, they always have like a little square with for the first letter. You can see they have these little squares of little illustrations, and this is kind of cool. It's a cool little book. And so they're very nice. We're going to, they were published from 1941 to 1951. As I said, it's 139 issues. Classic mysteries, and we're going to take a look at them now. So we're going to start off with the first book in the series, The No Number Odds on the Hot Seat by Judson Phillips, which is number 1. A lot of these books were abridged, especially the early ones, but not all of them. And then there's paperback originals also. Number 2 is Decoy by Cleve Adams. Number 3 is by James Hadley Chase, The Skull in the Eye. So they have pretty nice cover art, even though it's for that style of art. Number 4 is 7 Men by Theodore Roscoe. Number 5 is Curtains for the Copper by Thomas Polsky. Number 6 is Bullets in His Cap by Robert Fleming. A lot of these authors were pulp authors. A lot of them were very popular mystery authors, and some of these books are really, really cool, really good stuff. Number 7 is The Black Door by Cleve Adams. Number 8 is She Got What She Asked For by James Rowland. Cover art on these, I don't know who did the cover art. This one is signed Quinn. Later on in the series, there were some covers drawn by Saunders and other more popular artists of the era. Number 9 is Vicious Circle by Manning Long. And they all have these skull-like murder mystery kind of macabre elements to them that really make them kind of cute, kind of interesting. They were 15 cents in those days, in the early 1941 and 42. These are from 41 and 42. Number 10 is The Case of the Vanishing Woman by Robert Archer. Some of these authors I haven't heard of, I don't know too much about. Others are classic authors and real sleepers that are very collectible. Number 11 is The Dark Hours by Lenore Glenn Oford. Nice cover of a clock. And you can see it's J.L. Quinn who did the cover art signed. So it must have been Quinn Publishing Company. Maybe Quinn did actually the design of the books and sent them, put them together and did the cover art. Number 12 is The Big Frame by Sam Merwin Jr., very well-known mystery and science fiction author and editor. Number 13 is Lazarus 7 by Richard Sale, very famous pulp author, adventure pulp writer, crime author, and even this kind of I think it kind of dovetails a little bit into a little science fiction. Number 14 is Black Alibi by Cornell Woolrich, very collectible author, very cool author. Tough book to find. You don't see that often at all. Number 15 is The Case of the Walking Corpse by Brett Halliday, and it's a Mike Shane mystery. Early Mike Shane mystery. These are all still 15 cents. Early 1940s, during World War II. And I bet you in the early days of World War II, and I bet you a lot of these early ones are pretty tough to find. And the later ones you'll see occasionally, quite often actually, but the early ones are tough to find, especially in nice condition. Number 16, The 14th Trump, is by Judson Phillips. Number 17, I'm missing number, that was 16. Okay, that was 16. Okay, and this is number 17, Footsteps Behind Her by Mitchell Wilson. Number 18 is The Unscrupulous Mr. Callahan by Peter Cheney, a British private eye author. Number 19 is Passing Strange by Richard Sale. Number 20 is To a Blindfold Lady by Joseph Purtrell. Number 21 is The Case of the Shivering Chorus Girls by James Atlee Phillips, famous spy crime writer. Had one book in the series. Number 22 is The Blonde Died First by Dana Chambers. Number 23 is Five Alarm Funeral by Stuart Sterling. I like the artwork on these. The woman, the fire, the sexy kind of cartoony character. It's they're kind of something charming about these early mystery books. And they're all mysteries at this point, and they're all classics. A lot of them are abridged, and that's why sometimes they're not as sought after as they should be. Number 24 is Murder in Marble by Judson Phillips. Number 25 is The Court of Shadows by Giles Jackson. Number 26 is To Catch a Thief by Daphne Sanders. Number 27 is I Wake Up Screaming by Steve Fisher, and this is one of the very collectible books in the series. Steve Fisher is very collectible noir crime writer. This is a tough book to find. And just to show you the back covers of what they look like. So the back covers, again, they have the Handi-Book logo, the owl reading the book, and then they have a little square here which tell you a little bit about the book, and then the number of the book and what's the next book in the series. So people would read these, they would collect them, they would read them by numbers in the series. Number 28 is The Frightened Man by Dana Chambers. So that's a group of the early mystery 15-cent Handi-Books up to number 28. We're going to take a look at the rest of them now. Another stack. We've got 3 stacks to go through. I hope you don't mind looking at these, seeing these covers, because these are books that you probably haven't seen. Not that common, especially the early ones. Number 29 is The Woman in Red by Anthony Gilbert, very well-known mystery writer. And it's interesting, he had a spider web with the woman in it, and then there's the woman's head is like a skull. And I love that skull image. Number 30 is The X-Ray Murders by M. Scott Michael. Number 30 is The X-Ray Murders. We have 2 of them.
That one is missing a 15-cent on the top corner.
So this is different. It's not. Oh, so this is a variant. It's missing the. It's actually the price is not printed here. It's not. It's not torn
Why
or
don't you
anything.
put them side by side so we can see?
Yeah. So the 15 cents and 20 cents in Canada, of course. That was 30. Number 31 I don't have. Number 32 is No Good from a Corpse by Lee Brackett. Very good book by the author of the first Star Wars movie, Paperback. And she was a great science fiction author and a very good hard-boiled crime author and Western author. She did a lot of movie work, and this is a tough book to find and a very, very good one to read. Number 30, this is 31 actually, they're out of order. So 31 is The Case of the Curious Chair by Richard Powell. Then we go to number 33 is Up Jumped the Devil by Cleve F. Adams. A lot of books by Cleve F. Adams. He's a popular hard-boiled private eye writer. Number 36 is The Walls Came Tumbling Down by Joe Eisinger. Number 34 is The Last Secret by Dana Chambers. Another skull cover. Number 35 is The Snake in the Grass by James Howard Welland. Again, you have these representational covers of murder, of crime, the hand of a body. They just show the body, the hand of it, and it's kind of there's a certain charm about these covers, a certain very nice kind of gets the little macabre and a little mystery.
We've moved on to Perfect Bound now, right?
Yeah. The Walls Came Tumbling Down. We have 2 of these too. How do you like that? Okay. Walls Came Tumbling Down, 2 of them. Number 38 is The Man with the Lumpy Nose by Lawrence Larrier. Number 39, Send Another Coffin by F.G. Presnell. And again, these are still early 40s, and they're still 15 cents. Number 40 is Dead Little Rich Girl by Norbert Davis. Very good hard-boiled crime book. There's 2 of them by him. 2 of his novels have been printed in this series, and they're quite collectible. Number 42 is The Fall Guy by Joe Barry. Joe Barry was Joe Barry Lake, and he wrote a bunch of tough guy, hard-boiled private eye novels in the tradition of Hammett, and they're really, really good. He's a really good unknown guy. I wrote a article on him in a past issue of Paperback Parade that goes through all of his books, and this is one of the good ones. There's a few others that are really, really good. Anything by Joe Barry is really worth your reading. Number 43 is The Body on the Pavement by Gordon Myrick. And now they have the number on the spine. The lower spine is still 15 cents. It's a good bargain. When at this time, Avon Books and Pocket Books and Dell Mapbacks were selling for 25 cents. Handi-Books were a bargain, and there's some good stuff here. But again, the book tells you Handi-Book Mystery, abridged to approximately 50,000 words. So basically, they kept the page count to the same 128 pages, which was 50,000 words. So they would abridge the books, which is a problem for collectors and readers who want to read the entire story. They cut it to fit their format, to their size of 128 pages. Number 45 is The Blonde is Dead by John Dow. But they also had paperback originals in this series that are very, very collectible. Number 46 is The Case of the Tearless Widow by John Robert. And again, they're advertising now that they have abridged the books, because earlier they didn't really mention it. They did mention it inside the books, but now they're mentioning it on the outside. Number 47 is Sweet Murder by M. Scott Michael. And you'll see some of the authors reoccur later on in the series, or you know, like M. Scott Michael had a couple of books, and there's a few others. Number 48, The Body Next Door by Eaton K. Goldwaite. They still have these nice representational covers, the syringe, the mask, and the woman's silhouette by the window, and they're still 15 cents. Still a good bargain. Number 49 is The Corpse Who Wouldn't Die by Ed Dougherty. Now, if you've seen my any of my videos earlier on, I did a video on Ed Dougherty, who was a Customs and Border Patrol agent who actually arrested smugglers, and he is also a writer. He was a pulp writer and wrote in many pulp crime magazines, and this is one of his books. It's abridged. Now they're telling you right out they're abridged, and it's a good book. This is the only book he did for
It's only novel.
For Handi-Books. I think it's his only paperback and only novel.
I think that was a pulp writer's
We
scrapbook.
the video that we did was a pulp writer's scrapbook, which actually was his own scrapbook of all kinds of, some original manuscripts, covers of pulp magazines that had his stories in them, his plan for how to write a pulp story, how to write a crime story. There's a lot of stuff. You might be interested in looking up that video. We'll put a description in below to tell you exactly what number of the episode it is, because now we're up to over 200. The next book is some of these numbers I cannot read. So this was 49. So this should be 50. Darling, This Is Death by Dana Chambers.
I think it's 51.
It's 51.
If you open the front cover, on the cover.
This is the 51st Handi-Book Mystery. Okay, so this, here we go. I forgot about that. So it tells you on the later books, this is the 51st Handi-Book Mystery. So this is 51. Darling, This Is Death by Dana Chambers. And it's abridged, of course, which we hate abridged books, but what are you going to do? This is number 52. The Triple Cross by Joe Barry. Another great hard-boiled crime It's abridged, but who the heck cares? You got to read this. It's really good. Joe Barry's a very good author. Number 54 is Oh Murder Mine by Norbert Davis. This is the second book by him in the series. It's a very collectible edition. It could set you back quite a bit. Number 56 is Lady with the Dice by Joel Townsley Rogers. Now the price has gone up, we noticed, to 20 cents from 15. Number 57 is Death Against Venus by Dana Chambers. Dana Chambers has a few books in this series, and they're all pretty good mystery crime. So far, everything we've looked at has been mystery or crime, private eye. But we'll see some westerns later on. The next book is 59, One of These Seven by Carolyn and Malcolm Logan. Number 60 is The Gloved Hand by Lee Bryson. I wish I had a better copy of that, but some of these oh, I do have a better copy of that. How the heck do you like that? Right here. There we go. See that? I just wish that happened, and there it is. Number 61 is The Black Key by M. Scott Michael. And we've got two of these. So I didn't know I had dupes on some of these. Number 62 is The Murder of the USA by Will F. Jenkins, who's a science fiction writer, Murray Leinster. This is kind of marginal science fiction, another very collectible and quite pricey book. So that's the second batch of Handi-Books. As yet, we haven't reached any westerns, but we will. I'm going to move these over, and we have two more stacks. And the next book in the series is number 63, The Cleanup by Joe Barry. Now this, first of all, the cover is really cool. Just a giant hand grabbing the people and stuff. This is very Joe Barry's version of Hammett's one of Hammett's most famous novels.
That you can't think
which
of.
I can't think of offhand. I can't think of the Poisonville. The original story was called Poisonville, and then it was published as a this is the book that this is also similar. It's been made into movies many times. Bruce Willis, The Last Man Standing. It was based on that Hammett book, and then this is kind of based on Hammett too. It's a Rush Henry novel, and it's really, really good. Really good. Number 68 is Killers Play Rough. And number 69 I don't have, and number 70 I don't have. And number 71, now we have a Handi-Book Western. And it's by Oscar J. Friend, The Range Maverick. So this is the first Western as far as I know. I don't know about the other two previous to this that I'm missing. But as far as I know, this is the first Western. There's also a Handi-Book Western series of 4 books that came out in 1946 and 47. They're numbered 1 to 4, and that's a separate little series. But I don't have those. But just to know, just so that you can know that there was that 4-book little series of Handi-Books that was separate from these, the main series. So this is the first Western, and the next one is 72, Death About Face by Frank Kane. And now it's a little thicker, and it's complete and unabridged. So now Handi-Books is not so much abridging their books. Not all of them are abridged. And then you're going to see also later on, as we get into the other later books in the series, you're going to see that there's paperback originals. Next book is 74. This is a terrific, terrific book. and this is If You Have Tears by John Evans. Now, John Evans was Howard Brown. This book was also reprinted later by Lion Books as Lona. And actually, I reprinted this book in the Greif and Crime book series. It's Howard Brown's take on oh boy, it's his take on the James M. Cain novel. I can't recall it.
You're having a lot of senior moments.
Yeah, I can't recall the title, but this is his take on the James M. Cain's famous novel.
Mildred Pierce?
No.
Double Indemnity?
No. Don't worry about it.
All right.
But it's If You Have Tears, and it was also reprinted by Lion Books.
Maybe it'll come to you.
This is the 1940s edition paperback, and it's also complete and unabridged, so they're also mentioning that. And then it was reprinted in the 50s as Lona, and by John Evans. The next one is number 75, Boss of Panamint, Handi-Book Western. So in some cases, you can see the Westerns, have a kind of at least the cover art and the design presentation of the books is kind of hard-boiled, and Westerns are sometimes hard-boiled. Some mysteries and Private Eye and hard-boiled crime books are kind of very close to Westerns in a lot of ways. So it's kind of maybe a natural thing that they would also go into doing Westerns. Number 76 is Cargo of Fear by J.L. Currier. Now, all of these are thicker books, and we're getting to now. They are 155 pages. So these are books that most probably are not abridged. They're complete. So we're getting into a different group of books as far as these go. Number 78 is This Deadly Dark by Lee Wilson. Number 79 is Gun Harvest by Oscar J. Friend. Oscar J. Friend was a Western author, science fiction author, pulp author, quite well known, wrote a lot of stuff. Number 81 is Empty Saddles by Al Cody. These are all complete and unabridged, so some of them are complete reprints of hardcover books, and others are paperback originals. Number 85 is The Great I Am by Lewis Graham. Kind of a Western. Number 87 is Idaho by Paul Evan Lehman, classic Western author. Now we get back to another crime book. Number 88, Hope to Die by Hilary Wong. Nice cover. And now you can see that we're getting into, from the earlier cover art that was like the Black Key, this kind of cover art, we're going now into more modern and pulpy Good Girl art covers. Number 89 is The King of Thunder Valley by Archie Jocelyn. Number 92 is The Girl with the Frightened Eyes by Lawrence Lehrer. Nice cover. Number 93 is Rebel Yell by Leslie Ernewine. And again, you see the pulp influences here. Horror, terror, but this pulp Western with the Good Girl art kind of influence. Number 94. Number 94 is They All Died Young by Charles Boswell. This is a true crime. Number 95 is Outcast of Lazy S by Eli Coulter. Complete and unabridged. Handi-Book Western. Number 96 is The Black Dark Murders by Robert O. Saber. Robert O. Saber was actually Milton K. Ozaki, a Japanese-American hard-boiled pulp and crime writer in the 30s and 40s and 50s. It was quite good, quite good. He was wrote a lot of good books for a lot of publishers. Number 97 is A Lover Would Be Nice by F. Hugh Herbert. Handi-Book. This one's listed as a Handi-Book love novel. So I don't know. So maybe they're getting into another area, doing more general fiction as far as just from starting out with mysteries and then going from mysteries, doing westerns, and then doing maybe a kind of a romance or a noir kind of novel. Number 98 is Spider House by F. Van Wyck Mason, or Van Wyck Mason, and this is abridged. Number 100 is Too Many Women by Milton K. Ozaki, and this is Milton K. Ozaki is, or actually Robert O. Saber is Milton K. Ozaki, so this is a book in the Handi-Book series under his own name and with good girl cover art. Another good crime novel. Number 101 is The Range Doctor by Oscar J. Friend. Number 102 is Satan's Gal by Carolina Lee. And last one on this stack is 103, Maverick Guns by J.E. Grinstead. And again, it's a pulp western kind of cover, and the girl on the, behind the guy on the horse. So it's got a little bit of a good girl art style to it. And of course, this one's Satan's Gal. So that's those. And we're going to take a look at the last group. Should I move these?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Take some room. Number 110, The Glass Ladder by Paul F. Fairman. This is a very underrated writer. He wrote a lot of stuff, crime, science fiction. He wrote a lot of movie and TV tie-ins. Very professional writer, very competent, and a guy who really was a very good writer. Number 115 is Range King by J.E. Grinstead. Another western. Now the books, the numbers are listed in various places on the cover. So I have 110, and I'm missing a few between 115. Number 119 is Vengeance Valley by Paul Evan Lehman. Number 106 is Three for the Money by Joe Barry. Another great crime book to read. Number 108, The Affair of the Frigid Blonde by Robert O. Saber. There's another one, another Ozaki book. Hard-boiled crime, private eye book. Number 109, Shanahan's Feud by Archie Jocelyn. Nice looking western cover on that book. Number 112 is No Wings on a Cop by Cleve F. Adams, complete and unabridged. Number 113 is Barricade by Oscar J. Friend. And this is guys with the barbed wire in the west, and you see a guy's hand, he's trapped in the barbed wire. Number 114 is False Face by Leslie Edgley. Number 116 is A Fiend in Need by Milton K. Ozaki. Number 118 is The Window with the Sleeping Nude by Robert Leslie Bellum. I think this is the only Bellum, or maybe one of two only Bellum paperbacks. He was the famous and very collectible crime writer, crime story pulp writer, and these very collectible book, and this is quite an expensive book also. Now you have original books. Number 120 is Sleigh Ride for a Lady by Harry Whittington. That's a paperback original. Number 122 is Dark Memory by Edward Rons. And he started out writing as Edward Rons, and then he became Edward A. Ahrens. And he wrote a lot of books and series for gold medal under the Edward A. Ahrens name. But the early books by him were Edward Rons. Number 124 is The Scented Flesh by Robert O. Saber. That's Ozaki again. Number 125 is Valley of the Tyrant by Dick Pierce. Number 126 is Yaller Girl by Carolina Lee. Number 127 is The Pharaoh Kid by Leslie Ernewine, Westman. Number 128 is Pursuit by Lawrence G. Blockman, well-known crime writer. Number 129 is Heiress of Copper Butte by Paul W. Fairman. Number 130 is The Dove by Robert O. Saber. This was used on a digest magazine, same cover art, and then they used it here on this edition. Number 131 is The Lady Was a Tramp by Harry Whittington. It's a paperback original, and it's another, like the two Whittingtons, are quite pricey books also, and hard to find in nice shape. Number 132 is Trail Rider by Lynn Westland. Number 133 is Boot Hill by Weston Clay. Number 134 is Murder is Dangerous by Saul Levinson. I believe that's a Saunders cover. Number 135, Typed for a Corpse by Alan Pruitt. And that's definitely a Saunders cover. That's signed by Saunders down here. Number 136 is Dark Canyon by Tex Holt. Number 137 is Yucca City Outlaw by William Hobson. Number 138, another Harry Whittington, The Brass Monkey by Harry Whittington. Great book. Kind of based on his version of the Maltese Falcon, and paperback original, and another pricey kind of book. Hard to find in nice condition. And the last one, 139, is The Lady Killers by W.T. Brannan, which is true crime. And there you have a group of most of the Handi-Books that were published from 1941 to 1951. It's an interesting series of books. There's a lot in this group of books that are collectible and that are really cool. And so I hope you enjoyed this look at Handi-Books. And if you did, give us a thumbs up and a like, and share it with a friend. And thanks for looking. We'll see you next time.